What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick. It's not over till I sing, Guardian, and I never sing. Kackis here. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel, and let me know what you think my next intro should be. That comment section is absolutely wild. Alright, today, we are going to be taking a look at the two new Nightfall exclusive weapons added to Destiny 2 with Season of the Lost, the Comedian Shotgun and the Hothead Rocket Launcher, looking at their PvE and PvP God rolls, putting them head to head, and determining which one is best. Now, we're doing this because tomorrow, Grandmaster Nightfalls launch. So now you're going to be able to get the Adept versions of these two weapons. And that means they have additional stat bonuses when you masterwork them, and they're capable of getting Adept mods. So obviously determining which one is better is also going to be determining which one you should grind for. Should you spend your time doing Grandmaster after Grandmaster after Grandmaster trying to get one or either of these weapons? So let's start things out with the Comedian Shotgun. So first things first, this is an aggressive frame 55 rounds per minute archetype, and its stats are pretty average for this archetype. Now, what makes this weapon unique? Well, there's actually a few perks it can get that other shotguns just can't. Firstly, it does have access to the brand new Ensemble perk that was introduced this season, improved handling and reload speed when allies are nearby. This isn't terrible, but this also hasn't made a huge impact on the meta. What really makes this shotgun unique is that it is the first time any shotgun ever in Destiny can get the perk Subsistence. Defeating targets partially reloads the magazine from reserves. So this has proven itself to be very effective in PvE especially, and some people also like this for going on streaks in PvP. And this, for a shotgun, is kind of insane. It means that you can get a kill with likely one round of your weapon, and then you reload instantly that one round. So as long as you're getting kills, you are technically able to go infinite as long as you have reserve shotgun ammo. Like, the magazine size doesn't matter. You don't need any sort of reload speed increasing perks because you'll never need to reload. You just automatically get those rounds back. So, when we're looking at its God rolls, a PvP God roll would likely be something like full choke for the barrel, combined with accurized rounds for more range, or even assault mag for a faster fire rate. But after that, there really isn't anything here that's too amazing for PvP. You probably would want to go with Subsistence, so you could go on streaks. In the second category, again, nothing super incredible for PvP here. Maybe something like Vorpal Weapon to deal with enemy supers, and that's really it. And honestly, that's not too impressive. There's other high impact frame shotguns that can get stuff like Opening Shot, Slide Shot, Elemental Capacitor, all of that stuff, which is insane for PvP. But keep in mind, there's gonna be a PvP YouTuber who posts a clip of them absolutely going off because of Subsistence, so just be aware of that. However, in terms of a PvE God roll, things get a little bit more impressive. The barrel doesn't matter as much, however you don't want full choke because you don't want to decrease your precision damage. Then you actually really want Assault Mag. You do not need an extended mag perk because you do have Subsistence. Why do you need to extend your magazine if you're getting the rounds back anyways? And then you have three pretty impressive perks here. One for All, which is going to boost your damage pretty easily. Trench Barrel, which is another great way to increase your damage, and again Vorpal Weapon, which is going to come up a lot more often in PvE. So Subsistence plus any of those three and Assault Mag really gives you a unique and powerful weapon. Now the problem is this would be great for ad clearing, for dealing with majors and mini bosses and so on, but it really doesn't do anything special in terms of the DPS department. So if you are going after something like a champion, if you are going after something like a boss, there is definitely going to be other shotguns out there that are going to DPS much more efficiently. So where does that put the Comedian? In kind of a weird spot, honestly, but it does have quite the uniqueness factor, and if you do get the Adept version, this would be a great candidate for Adept Big One spec, being able to do bonus damage to yellow bars and bosses now at the same time. But moving on from there, we have the other new Nightfall weapon, the Hothead Rocket Launcher. Now this actually belongs to the Adaptive Frame 20 rounds per minute archetype. This is a fairly rare archetype. For example, the Apex Predator from the Last Wish raid belongs to this archetype, and 20 rounds per minute is actually going to be faster than the 15 rounds per minute you find on high impact frames like the Code Duello, or even the precision frames like the current Ritual weapon. Those are only 15 rounds per minute, so that is going to be a little bit of an advantage. However, it doesn't have the biggest blast radius compared to some of the other archetypes. But moving on from there, taking a look at its perks, kind of what makes this thing unique. Well, firstly, what stands out is going to be the fact that this can get Ensemble in that first slot, and again, that's access to a new perk. Definitely increased reload speed when allies are nearby. That might matter quite a bit. If you're in a raid DPS scenario, everyone's in a well anyways, damaging a boss, getting faster reload for doing that is nothing to scoff at. But also, in that second slot, this is the first time any rocket launcher can get the new Danger Zone perk. The blast radius is increased when surrounded by combatants. That might actually give you a pretty saucy roll in PvP. If you roll up on a whole group of enemies capturing a flag, you get a bigger blast radius. I mean, that's exactly what you want in that scenario. But with that being said, having to be close to those enemies and using an explosive weapon like a rocket launcher, that blast radius could also spell disaster for yourself as well. But really, the main kind of point of contention with this weapon, the main highlight, is the fact that it can also get explosive light. Picking up an orb of power increases the next projectile's blast radius and damage. The only other weapons that can get this perk is the original Wendigo grenade launcher pinnacle weapon that was out years ago, and that was a super meta weapon. But then just this season, the ritual weapon like the Ascendancy, that rocket launcher can get explosive light, and the Hothead. So that ritual rocket and the Hothead are the only rockets that can get explosive light that aren't sunset. And this is a big deal because actually very recently, like if I would have made this video when these two weapons first came out, I would be saying that explosive light is trash. But in a new hotfix, Bungie actually buffed the damage of explosive light from about a 16% bonus to now a 25% bonus. And that means explosive light is now going to give you the biggest damage bonus of any rocket launcher perk, actually beating out lasting impression. So this is huge. If you want to DPS with a rocket, you want explosive light. That is going to give you the maximum DPS possible. So keeping all of that in mind, in terms of a PvP God Roll, you probably just want a different launch that gives you the most blast radius, like something like Volatile Launch, or Velocity is pretty good as well. Then you're probably going after, again, something like Black Powder to increase the blast radius, or something like High Velocity Rounds to increase the velocity. And then you can go with tracking for more consistent shots at distance. Heck, you can go with even something like Demolitionist, Quick Draw to get your weapon out faster. It doesn't really matter too much, but then I think in that second slot you are going for either Danger Zone or Vorpal Weapon to potentially take out a super. Not that you wouldn't anyways, but if you kind of miss a bit, you can potentially deal that extra damage and get it with the blast. Or honestly, explosive light. Like if you can pick up one orb of power, increasing the blast radius as well is going to be very effective in PvP. And then for a PvE God Roll, I think you're really just going for, the launch doesn't matter as much. You really do want Impact Casing to increase the damage for direct hits, just talking about max DPS. Then, tracking is going to make it more consistent, but Field Prep is going to give you more ammo overall. And then Demolitionist is going to let you shoot, throw a grenade, and that's going to instantly reload your magazine to let you shoot again. Ensemble, like I said, in a raid DPS scenario, this could actually be what you want. But then honestly, you gotta go for Explosive Light. Like, Vorpal Weapon is actually really good and really consistent. You know, Clown Cartridge getting 2 rounds in the magazine is good. Danger Zone is good at ad clearing, but at the end of the day, why would you give up the kind of the unique perk that gives you the maximum damage potential? It's gotta be Explosive Light. And a roll like that, getting something like Impact Casing, Field Prep, Explosive, that is going to be extremely good. And because the Ascendancy Ritual Weapon, it can't get Field Prep, that combo is going to give you more overall damage output because you get literally more rounds in reserve. So, with all of that being said, which one of these two is the better choice? Which one should you grind for? I think it is definitely the Hothead. The Comedian does have that pretty unique PvE role involving subsistence. I'm going to be going after it just because of that rarity factor, but in terms of practicality, Explosive Light is fantastic. It is important. It just got buffed. And the Hothead is going to be potentially a huge part of any sort of rocket DPS meta if, for example, next season we get some rocket launcher exclusive seasonal perks and so on. So that is definitely something you want to get. And the Adept version of the Hothead being able to get the Adept Big One spec mod, I mean, that is like meant for rockets. You literally want to use rockets on the boss, but also to clear out a group of yellow bars, to clear out champions. That is all going to be absolutely fantastic with that mod. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.